After the age of 70, many people believe that simply walking every day is enough to maintain good health. The image of elderly men and women strolling leisurely around the lake in parks or along neighborhood streets has become a symbol of an active, healthy, and fulfilling old age. That feeling is comforting, isn't it? Just walking, regularly and persistently, and we believe we can ward off illness and preserve our longevity. But what if I told you that walking, although a wonderful habit, isn't enough to protect your health in old age? Today, geriatric doctors have started to raise concerns. Relying solely on walking while neglecting other essential forms of movement could actually speed up the aging process. Walking does bring benefits, there's no debate about that. But walking alone doesn't help the body maintain strength, doesn't train balance, doesn't slow joint stiffness, and doesn't protect your musculoskeletal system that's quietly wearing down over the years. That might sound a little strange, especially since we've believed for so long that walking is good for us. But the truth is, after 70, the body doesn't just need movement. It needs a more thoughtful, proactive preparation to adapt to the inevitable changes that come with age. Being healthy isn't just about putting one foot in front of the other. It's about knowing how to keep each muscle, each joint, each motion functioning well. That's what truly matters. Take a moment and ask yourself, have you ever felt like it's getting a bit harder to get up from a chair? Or that your shoulders and lower back feel stiff every morning, needing a few minutes to warm up before you can get out of bed? Have you ever bent down to pick something up and felt a twinge in your back or lost your balance for a split second while stepping off a curb? These small things, things we often dismiss as normal signs of aging, are actually signals. Your body is telling you that it's starting to lose some of its precious abilities. And if we don't act, little by little, those small things will turn into big problems. Muscle loss, poor balance, joint pain, or dependence on others, all of it starts with those tiny, overlooked signs. But here's the good news. It's never too late to make a change. We absolutely can slow this process down, and in many cases, even reverse it if we know how. And that starts with taking a hard look at a simple question. Are we just walking and calling that exercise? If so, then maybe it's time to take a new path. Still simple, still doable, but more accurate, more effective, and truly capable of helping us maintain our health, independence, and quality of life for years to come. So right now, I'd like to invite you to focus on the first key factor, the one quietly disappearing from our bodies without many of us realizing it. It's not your heartbeat. It's not your breath, it's strength. More specifically, muscle mass. And that's where it all begins. After the age of 70, a silent but extremely dangerous process begins to take place inside the body, muscle loss. In medicine, this condition is called sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. It's one of the leading causes of older adults gradually losing their independence and becoming reliant on others for even the simplest tasks of daily life. The danger of sarcopenia is that it doesn't come suddenly. It creeps in quietly. No pain, no fuss. One day, you realize it's not as easy to get it up from a chair as it used to be. Another day, just carrying a shopping bag leaves your shoulders aching and your hands trembling slightly. And slowly, the little things you used to do without a second thought start to feel like a real challenge. There's a little-known truth. Walking, though undeniably good, isn't enough to preserve muscle mass. It mainly targets the lower body, and even if you walk consistently every day, the exercise doesn't provide the kind of resistance that muscles need in order to maintain or grow. This is especially true for key muscle groups like the back, core, and arms, the very muscles that help you stay steady, sit upright, and move with confidence. Muscle is like an asset. If you don't use it, don't activate it, your body starts to get rid of it. It assumes you no longer need that strength. And once it's gone, it's very difficult to regain without proper training. I want you to picture this. An elderly gentleman in his 70s, tall and lean, walks diligently every morning. He's always believed that hitting 10,000 steps a day is the best way to stay healthy. But then one day, when he tries to lift an old plastic bin in the garage, he finds he simply can't. It's not just a feeling of weakness, it's disheartening. He's not sick, he's not injured, he just doesn't have the strength to do it anymore. After a checkup, the doctor tells him, "You're losing muscle because it's not being activated. Walking alone won't preserve it." From that day on, he began adding gentle strength exercises into his routine, sitting down and standing up from a chair repeatedly, using resistance bands, lifting small hand weights, or simply doing push-ups against the kitchen counter. Within just a few weeks, something remarkable happened. He felt stronger, could get up more easily, and most importantly, he regained confidence in his body. What I want to emphasize is this: strength training doesn't mean lifting heavy weights or going to the gym. It can be simple and suitable for any older adult. The key is to provide just enough resistance so your muscles get the message. You still need them. Strength isn't just about carrying bags or opening jars. It's what helps you stand tall, sit steadily, and walk with assurance. And most importantly, it's what allows you to stay independent in your daily life. And that independence is the foundation for a healthy, joyful old age, one where you don't feel like a burden on your family. However, there's something else that goes hand in hand with strength that we must not overlook, and that is balance. Because even if you have strong muscles, if your balance deteriorates, a single misstep or minor stumble can result in a serious fall. And as you know, falls in older adults are often turning points, ones you can't always come back from. Balance might sound simple, but it's not something you maintain just by walking. That's because walking is a repetitive, habitual motion. You move on autopilot. It doesn't require your body to adjust, to center itself, or to react quickly to sudden changes. And as we age, those very reflexes are the first to decline, unless we actively train them. Balance is the result of coordination between many parts of the body, from tiny muscles in your feet and ankles to deep stabilizing muscles in your core and back. And beyond that, it includes your sense of where your body is in space, what we call proprioception. None of these systems stay strong on their own. They decline with time, unless deliberately maintained. I'll never forget the story of Uncle Hung, 76 years old, still sturdy, still doing his morning walks. One day, while stepping off a curb, a slightly uneven paving stone caused him to lose his footing and nearly fall. Luckily, he managed to grab a nearby street sign in time. But that moment truly shook him. Not because he was weak, but because he realized he no longer had full control over his own steps. That feeling of losing control made him start to question, is walking alone really enough? After that incident, Uncle Hung began practicing simple balance exercises every morning before his walk. Some days, he stood on one leg next to the kitchen counter. Other days, he walked slowly down the hallway, placing the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other. At first, he wobbled a bit, but after just a few weeks, he told me, "It feels like I've taken back the right to control my own body." You don't need a gym, and you don't need fancy equipment to train your balance. Just 5 minutes a day is enough to send a message to your brain and muscles. I still need to stay steady. You can try it right now. Stand next to a stable surface, lift one foot off the ground, and hold for 10 seconds. If you can do it easily, great, but if you wobble or need to hold on, that's a signal, not a failure. And you absolutely can improve, starting today. Training your balance doesn't just help prevent falls. It also brings a host of subtle benefits: better posture, quicker reflexes, and a sense of control in every movement. It helps you feel steady within your own body, something no pill or supplement can provide. But there's one more crucial element, one that many people overlook until it's already gone, and that is mobility and joint flexibility. You might be strong, you might have good balance, but if your joints are stiff and your range of motion is limited, even the simplest tasks, like turning your head, bending down to tie your shoes, or putting on a coat, can become a struggle. That's why, right now, I want to share with you the third key factor in maintaining independence after 70: flexibility. Not the kind of flexibility you had in your youth, but the ability to move smoothly, comfortably, and without pain in a body that knows how to care for itself. At 70, things that used to be effortless, like glancing over your shoulder, picking something up off the floor, or throwing on a jacket, suddenly become challenges. Not because the body isn't strong anymore, but because your movements are no longer fluid. They become stiff, awkward, even slightly painful or uncomfortable. Many people think, that's normal. just part of getting old. But the truth is, mobility doesn't disappear because you age. It disappears because you stop using it. Your joints are like the hinges on a door. If you don't open that door fully every day, the hinge will slowly get stuck, rusted. The body is the same. If you don't stretch, don't rotate, don't allow your joints and connective tissues to stay lubricated, they'll gradually stiffen, limiting your range of motion. And over time, that leads to countless other problems. Walking, while excellent, is not enough to keep you flexible. It doesn't stretch your deep muscles, it doesn't move your joints through their full range, and it doesn't target areas like your shoulders, neck, or upper back, places that are often forgotten in our daily routines. I remember once, Uncle Tom, 78 years old, shared with me, "I still walk regularly, but lately every morning I wake up feeling stiff all over. Even bending down to grab my slippers is hard, let alone tying my shoes." When he mentioned that, his doctor recommended adding a few simple movements to his morning routine. Shoulder rolls, neck rotations, ankle circles, followed by gentle stretches for the lower back, calves, shoulders, and neck. He even tried out a few basic moves inspired by Tai Chi, just a few minutes each day, but in a short time, he felt noticeably more flexible. He joked, "It's like oiling a rusty hinge that hasn't moved in years." Flexibility doesn't require complex routines or dramatic contortions. It comes from gentle but consistent movement, rotating, bending, reaching, loosening, stretching. All you need is 5 to 10 minutes a day to noticeably improve your mobility, reduce joint pain, boost circulation, and help your body feel truly alive again. The important thing is not to wait until you've lost your mobility to take action. Because once your joints have stiffened and connective tissues have hardened, restoring them becomes much more difficult. But if you start now, with just small daily movements, you can preserve your freedom of movement for many more years. And as you begin to move more, move deeper, you'll start to notice something else: posture. Many people over the age of 70 gradually begin to hunch over, tilt their heads downward, or pull their shoulders in, often without even realizing it. Not because they want to, but because their core has weakened and it no longer has the strength to hold the spine upright. That's why, right now, I'd like to invite you to explore a factor that may seem small, but actually acts like the last line of defense for your balance, stability, and youthful energy from the inside out: core strength and posture. If you've ever found yourself slouching, felt a dull ache in your lower back, or gotten short of breath from standing too long, then this part is for you. We often think of the core as a six-pack, those sculpted abs from fitness magazines. But in reality, the core isn't just your belly. It's an entire system of deep muscles around your abdomen, lower back, hips, and pelvis, responsible for keeping your spine aligned, stable, and safe every time you sit, stand, or move. When your core is weak, your spine is no longer properly supported. That's when back pain starts creeping in. Your shoulders slump. You find it hard to breathe deeply because your chest can't open naturally. Over time, your posture shifts, your center of gravity moves out of place, your joints become misaligned, and suddenly you're feeling tired and drained, even if you're still walking and staying active. One geriatric doctor put it very clearly: if you don't activate your core daily, your spine has to carry all the load to keep you upright, and the price is pain, degeneration, and worsening posture. The good news is, you don't need heavy workouts or a gym to keep your core strong. All it takes is gentle, slow, consistent practice, like leaning your back against a wall and feeling your head, shoulders, and hips touch the surface at the same time. Or when sitting, try tilting your pelvis slightly and engaging your lower abs to take control of your posture. Even standing tall and rotating your torso slowly while breathing deeply, that alone can be a powerful way to awaken your core. And you'll be surprised to find, after just a few minutes a day, your body begins to realign itself. Your back stands straighter, your shoulders open up. Your breath becomes deeper and more even. You no longer feel like you're collapsing into yourself or straining just to stay upright. You begin to reclaim your sense of control, not just to stand there, but to stand tall, energized, and alive. What's fascinating is that once your posture improves, everything else gets better too. Balance becomes steadier. Your stride becomes more confident. Your joints are under less strain. And that leads us to another very important issue, one that many people are struggling with, but few talk about seriously: joint pain. Because even if you're strong, flexible, and have good posture, if every step you take comes with a dull ache in your knees, a sharp twinge in your hips, or a stabbing pain in your feet, your body will eventually push back. We cannot talk about healthy movement in old age without addressing joint protection. And right now, I want us to look at that head on, to understand why some people walk every day yet feel worse over time, and how to make sure that every step after 70 is light and smooth, not a burden on your joints. Walking by nature is a repetitive motion, and with every step, your entire body weight is transferred down into the knees, hips, and feet, precisely the joints that are weakening with age. When we're younger, our joints are cushioned by healthy cartilage and surrounded by ample synovial fluid, allowing them to absorb impact and distribute force efficiently. But over time, that cartilage wears down, the fluid decreases, elasticity fades. As a result, every step, instead of being light and effortless, becomes a forceful impact on your joints, putting direct pressure on the bone and cartilage structures. This can lead to inflammation, damage, or lingering joint pain. One often overlooked fact is this: joints don't have their own blood supply like muscles do. They aren't nourished directly by blood flow. Joints stay healthy only when they're moved properly and moderately, through gentle, multi-directional movements that don't cause excessive strain. If all you do is repeat one type of movement, like walking, especially for long periods on hard surfaces, your joints don't get a chance to recover. I'm reminded of Mr. Hua, 77 years old, who had been walking daily for decades. But recently, he began experiencing a dull ache in his knees and sharp twinges in his lower back when standing up. At first, he chalked it up to aging. I guess that's just how it is now. But as the pain lingered, he went to see a doctor, who told him something that really surprised him. You're walking a lot, but you're doing it the wrong way and without the supporting exercises needed to protect your joints. From that day on, he didn't stop walking, but he did change how he approached it. He reduced his step count to a more moderate level. He added 2 stationary bike sessions each week to move his body without stressing his joints. He began swimming gently, allowing his joints to move freely in a weightless environment. And every morning, he spent 10 minutes stretching and rotating his joints gently, following professional guidance. Within just a few weeks, Mr. Hua noticed a real difference. The pain gradually faded, his steps became lighter. Most importantly, movement no longer felt like a burden. It became a joy again. If you've read this far, take a moment now to check in with your own body. Try sitting down on a chair, then standing up without using your hands. Feel your knees, hips, and back. Do they move smoothly? Or do you hear crackling sounds, feel mild pain, or have to strain just to rise? If the answer is yes, that's not a sign you should stop moving. It's a sign that it's time to change how you move. When joints are cared for properly, they can support your independence well into your 80s, 90s, or even beyond. But if they're quietly damaged over time without proper rest, recovery, and muscular support, the pain, the slowed gait, and even the loss of mobility will arrive much faster than you expect. So if you've been placing all your faith in walking as your only form of exercise, today is a perfect opportunity to step back and reassess. Gentle swimming, cycling, chair stretches, tai chi, or even basic joint mobility routines. All of these are soft but powerful ways to keep your joints lubricated, flexible, and free from silent suffering with each step. Remember, movement shouldn't hurt. If it does, the problem isn't your body. It's the way you're moving that needs to change. When we talk about aging, many people think of slowing down. But to me, aging doesn't mean giving up or growing weak. It's a stage of life where you still have a choice to let the body slide downhill on its own or to grab the wheel and steer, even if just with small daily actions. Walking is still a precious part of that journey. But as you've seen, it's not the whole picture. After 70, to live well, live independently, and live fully, you need more than just steps. You need muscles strong enough to stand without using your hands, a balance system steady enough to face stairs without fear, flexibility to reach for your coat or bend to tie your shoes, a straight spine that lets you breathe deeply and walk confidently, and joints healthy enough that every step doesn't make you wince. That's the real path to aging well. You don't need to have all of this right away, but you can rebuild it little by little, day by day. No need for big changes. Just start with 5 minutes each morning, a few mindful movements, a gentle exercise, and one small promise to yourself. I want to live better. Take a moment today to reflect. How are you taking care of your body right now? Are there signs you may have been ignoring? And what are you ready to change starting tomorrow? So that every step you take is no longer a strain, but a joy. If there's something you've learned from this video, whether it's an exercise, a new insight, or even just a spark of motivation, please share it in the comments below. Because your story might be the very thing that inspires someone else, someone quietly walking through their later years, not knowing where or how to begin. And if you found these insights helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so we can keep creating meaningful, practical, and human-centered content for you and your loved ones. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Wishing you strength, resilience, and the power to live each day, not with fear, but with confidence in your own body. See you in the next video.